Hello. Excuse me. Hello, my name, I guess I could say, my name is Marco Rubio, who took the water bottle. My name is Jerry Beal, and I guess I'm going from puberty into poverty. But I'm still going to try to. My YouTube video doesn't work really well, but the audio does, and the other link I'm sending you doesn't have. It doesn't show me, but I thought you might want to see at least what I look like. I don't look, I'm not much to look at, so you're not missing if you just hear the audio anyway. But my name is Jerry Beal, and for the last 25 passionate years, I've been studying the actual cause and effects of human feelings and human experiences. And my main mentor has been A Course in Miracles. And I need to say this so that I can say it within 15 minutes. I've tried, I went over the 15 minutes, and then they won't, YouTube won't accept the video after that. So what I would like to do is talk with the Sierra Club. I can't remember the lady's name that is heading up the one in Sedona, but she's a scientist. I think she used to work for DuPont. And anyway, I would like to talk to her or 2 or 3 other people from the Sierra Club, because I have a very, very unique knowledge. I do. I have a very, very unique knowledge. And so let me tell you this, that's just going to floor you right now. It'll floor you. But it comes up in the other one anyway, in the other link. But I have advice for people who have a sexual addiction for children, that have the urge to be sexual with children, pedophiles, I guess you can call them. My advice to you is, if you're going to sexually so-called molest the child, do it before the child finds out what it means. Now think about that. Think about it. That's not really my advice. I don't think people ought to be being sexual, with children under the age of 18 anyway. So that's not what I think is a good idea. But what we're doing is really messing things up, because Epictetus in the year 101 AD made the statement, people's minds are not disturbed by events. Hello? People's minds are not disturbed by events, but by their own judgments on events. A Course in Miracles calls that our own defining mind context. So you have the perceiver, we as the perceiver, what we as the perceiver are perceiving, and in between that, those are both physical aspects. This body, that over there, that thing that you can see with your eyes or something, that over there, doesn't matter what it is. And then in between that is the mental aspect of our own defining mind context about things. And that's what traditional clinical psychology is ignoring at the cost of all non-body related problems in the entire world. What I'm telling you is that for 25 years, I've been backing my mind out of this makes me happy and that makes me upset. That's a lie. And I'm backing my mind out of that, and I'm putting my mind on the idea that only human interpretations are able to cause human feelings and human experiences. Let me give you a really quick example. In fact, I give you a good example in the next link it's about a little boy that was sexually molested on 3 separate occasions. His 15-year-old babysitter was sucking his penis on 3 separate occasions, and she had given him toys to play with while she did that. And so he just goes right along playing with his toys, because his defining mind context would have been something like, I guess she must be taking care of me between my legs, And so he goes right on playing with his toys. I don't recommend that, but what the mistake is that we come along and say the event causes the experience when the event can't cause the experience. How do you experience something that you haven't interpreted? Don't you realize you have to interpret something before you can experience it? Don't you? Of course you do. You have to interpret it before you can experience it. And the second part of that is that means you can't experience it. You can only experience what it means for you. You can only experience what your beliefs and interpretations about it mean. You can only experience your own defining mind context about it. And so, you can see how bad their video is on this. But again, on the other one, I won't be, because again, I'm not much to look at anyway, and so you can just watch, because I taped over the thing. But I wanted to put this in here, as I think I said that I'm a level 1 sex offender, which means I guess I'm supposed to be less dangerous. But over a 4-year period, over a 30-year period, I offended 4 different times, was apprehended 4 different times. 3 strikes and you're out means that I'll go to my grave a sex offender, and I am pissed about it. I am really pissed about that. The point is that I am absolutely embarrassed of what I did. I really mean it, and I regret so much that I did it. And all through that 30-year period, I agonized so much over that sexual addiction. But the benefit that I got from it is I read in another source the statement, guilt is totally insane and has no reason. Guilt is totally insane and has no reason. Oh, if you think about that, sometime when you have a chance to think about it, think what that says. It says it's just simply insane to be using guilt in our society. And what that means is, the Apostle Paul made this statement, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. If I'd have been with him at that time, I'd have beat the shit out of him. Stop this lying, Paul. Just stop all of that lying. Because Jesus never taught that. He taught 3 things. The kingdom of heaven is within you. You will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free, and you must be born again. The only mistake we've ever made is to self-identify with what we're not. We believe we are what we're not, and we're not what we are. Now, if you don't think that can be confusing, you're making a huge mistake, because it's the confusion that exists in the world today. What I'm saying is that I've tried over and over. I've tried over 200 times to get some kind of back and forth with either legal people or with traditionally educated clinical psychologists, and not a goddamn one of them will give me any kind of back and forth. Now, I want to say that this 30-year period that I suffered so much with that sexual addiction, there was only one person during that whole time that ever knew me. But it's because I was sly and all of that, and I developed this good guy sense of self and the bad guy sense of self, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And A Course in Miracles is just beautiful in explaining how all of that is. Let me give you a quote really quick and hope I make it, because I can only go to 15 on this. The quote in A Course in Miracles says, "Every decision you make," oh, that is a whole lot of decisions, isn't it? Every decision you make stems from what you think you are and represents the value you put upon yourself. And it goes on to say, what you think you are, in other words, your sense of self, what you think you are can be very hateful, like a sex offender, can be very hateful. And what this strange image makes you do, what this strange image makes you do, what this strange image makes you do can be very destructive. And yet the destruction is no more real than the image is. In the end, it doesn't matter because it can't matter. And it's because, this attachment to the world. The Buddhists believe, that the salvation is to detach from the world, or at least the true Buddhists do, and so does A Course in Miracles. It's just simply realizing that the world has no effect on us. Only our interpretations about the world have effect on us. But that's not what we're saying. We're saying this makes me happy and that makes me upset. And it makes me happy to have a lot of money, a lot of status, the American dream, and all that bullshit that comes from the false idea that better conditions are causing better lives. They're not. Better interpretations about the conditions and events is what causes better lives and worse lives. Worse interpretations about the conditions and events is what causes worse lives. It's all interpretation. The world is based in interpretation while we believe it's based in fact. And that comes from what we're doing and what it is. This is the key point. We're using interpretations as facts and getting away with it. Then that's when we say this human activity is wrong, but that one isn't. And then 10 other people come along and say, well, bullshit with that. I don't believe that human activity is wrong, but I believe this one is. What I'm trying to say, and I need to say it before even 15 starts coming up at all, is that if you will help me, because I want to file a petition to be heard in the county of Yavapai. I'm going to talk even if my throat is this way. I want to file a petition to be heard, but I need some group of people, even a small group of people, to back me up. And because Sheila Polk, the county attorney, won't have anything to do. She will not talk to me at all about the psychology and the ideas that I've sent her packets about, and I've sent Dean Trevesh, and I've sent Judge Thomas Lindbergh. I've sent many people in traditional clinical psychology, and none of them will have anything to do with talking to me. Just talking to me about it. Just some kind of back and forth about it. In fact, I talked to a guy that made this a major decision on that Sandusky thing back there, and I sent him packets of stuff to help him understand something really critical. And finally, when he wouldn't talk to me either, I sent him an email, and I said, by God, say something, you stupid son of a bitch. And he was a psychologist. He was a noted psychologist. And finally he says, well, I won't talk to you at all about what you sent me. It's just that I don't buy into it at all, and I won't talk to you at all about it. And so then he goes and makes these major decisions and won't even talk to me about what I'm talking about here. What I'm saying is if you can help me help other people understand that human sexual activities are just that. No matter whether you're 90 years old or 5 years old, or like the little boy that you'll hear about in the next video is only 2 years old. Sexual activities are just that. Until we come along and put all of our bullshit with them, and then we say that's still what happened. But on the reward side, it means that we can put these environmental issues, because the only thing that is able to matter in time-space is our body issues, the care and keeping of bodies. And boy, the care and keeping of Earth's environment goes even way before even doctors and nurses. If we don't take care of our environment, there won't be any doctors and nurses around. There won't be any bodies around, and you know that more than I do. And so I can help put both of us front and center. And so what I'd like, and I sound really excited, but I'm not really. I'm a kind of a low-key guy, but I want to talk to, as I said, the lady that's a scientist from DuPont and a few others about this, and see what we can do together to put the environmental lobby right up in front where it belongs, along with the care and keep body issues, doctors, hospitals, and research and all of that kind of thing. So thanks a lot for listening to this. I hope I haven't already gone over too much. Thanks a lot for listening to this, and I'll be calling somebody pretty soon on this. Thanks a lot.